Hey everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to your fourth stimulus package and news update. In today's video, I have a lot to get into, but first, if you would like to receive a couple of free stocks from Webull, valued up to $2,300, make sure to claim them by clicking my link, which you'll find in the description box below. Okay, so jumping right into it today, with the $300 federal plus up in unemployment coming to an end in just 2 weeks, President Biden is now urging some states to continue paying them past the deadline. In a letter from the Treasury and Labor Secretary, they wrote, "First, the Treasury Department is reaffirming that states can use their allocation of the $350 billion in American Rescue Plan state and local fiscal relief funds to provide assistance to unemployed workers, including by continuing to provide additional weeks of income support to workers whose benefits expire on September 6th and to workers outside of regular state unemployment insurance programs. Second, the Department of Labor will communicate to states about how they can use their existing unemployment insurance infrastructure to support these state-funded benefits using American Rescue Plan funds. This will enable states that choose to do so to more seamlessly provide support to unemployed workers while complying with existing federal law and regulations. Third, the Department of Labor is announcing an additional $47 million in new career grants to support these reemployment services for all Americans and provide a pathway back to employment. These grants are on top of the $43 million in grant funds for reemployment services announced earlier this year, more than $400 million in funding for proven workforce strategies and support with good jobs. The president is also encouraging states to use their American Rescue Plan state and local funds for this purpose. Finally, beyond the immediate issue of expiring benefits, President Biden believes that the pandemic has exposed serious problems in our unemployment insurance system that requires immediate reform. Accordingly, he is calling on Congress to take up the issue of long-term unemployment insurance reform as part of the reconciliation process when Congress returns from recess. The president has already laid out his principles for such reform. He believes a 21st century unemployment insurance system should prevent fraud, promote equitable access, ensure timeliness of benefits, provide adequate support to the unemployed, and automatically expand benefits in a recession. So basically, the president is giving these states to go ahead to continue sending unemployed Americans $300 per week in assistance with the $350 billion they already received as part of the American Rescue Plan. In some other news, many of us already knew about the enhanced child tax credit payments that have been going out. Those are the $250 and $300 payments you have been receiving every single month if you have kids under the age of 18. However, a lesser known credit that was also passed in the American Rescue Plan is another one that you should definitely keep in mind. This is the Enhanced Child Independent Care Tax Credit, and usually, or at least in previous years, families could claim up to $3,000 in expenses per dependent for a maximum of $6,000. However, with the passage of the American Rescue Plan, families can now claim up to $8,000 per dependent and have a cap of $16,000. What this credit is for is basically to cover the cost of care for children under the age of 13 or for adult dependents. It's currently being estimated by the Bipartisan Policy Center that nearly 50% of Americans aren't even aware that they can claim this additional tax break, so this is obviously pretty huge news. Let me know in the comment section below, were you personally aware of this extra tax break? Now, for this year, families can receive up to 50% of those expenses as a refundable credit, of course, depending on their income, which means it may reduce your tax bill or offer a refund. The phase-out period for this credit starts at $125,000, and families won't be eligible at all once they exceed the $438,000 mark. Okay, and now moving on to some other news where a bill recently reintroduced in Congress hopes to keep millions of Social Security beneficiaries from living in poverty. As we all know and may personally be experiencing ourselves, the cost of living has only been increasing, and it's not been all that easy to cover costs from Social Security benefits alone. Representative Gwen Moore originally introduced, and recently it was reintroduced, a bill called the Social Security Enhancement and Protection Act. In the bill, Congresswoman Moore says it would help improve Social Security coverage in 3 ways. She says first, updating the special minimum benefit to 100% of poverty. People who have had low-wage jobs for their whole lives are more financially at risk when they reach retirement. To make up for this problem, in 1974, Congress set a special minimum benefit designed to increase the adequacy of benefits by setting a floor below which the full monthly benefit may not fall for beneficiaries with long-term work experience. But today, only a tiny population of beneficiaries receive it because it has not kept up with wage growth. Only about 1/5 of 1% of Social Security beneficiaries receive benefits based on the special minimum. Congresswoman Moore's bill would increase the special minimum benefit to pay 100% of the poverty threshold for those who have worked at least 30 years under Social Security and claim their benefits when they reach full retirement age. This benefit will be phased down proportionately to allow access for workers with fewer than 30 but more than 10 years of work. This legislation would also allow child care credits so that the years in which a parent has a young child could count as a year of coverage for Social Security benefits. A parent could receive a child care credit year for each year when a child under age 6 is present in the home up to a maximum of 5 years, which would account towards the 30 years required to be eligible for the full special minimum benefit. Number 2, increasing benefits 20 years after becoming eligible for retirement. People who live beyond the age of 85 are more likely to be financially vulnerable, even with Social Security. They may have exhausted their savings by this point, or have more serious health problems that have been a drain on their finances, or have faced any number of financial strains. Congresswoman Moore's bill would provide additional security by increasing benefits for all beneficiaries 20 years after retirement by a uniform amount equal to 5% of the average retired worker benefits in the prior year. This benefit would be phased in 1% each year after beneficiaries hit 16 years of eligibility until beneficiaries hit the full 5% increase 20 years after they begin receiving benefits. Number 3, reinstating the student benefit. Social Security benefits are paid to children whose working parent has died, become disabled, or retired. Currently, these benefits are paid until age 18, but from 1965 to 1981, students were eligible to receive those benefits until age 26 if they were enrolled in college or vocational schools. Research demonstrated that this benefit was particularly helpful and high impact for students of color and for low-income families with parents working at higher risk blue-collar jobs. This benefit has also disproportionately helpful to women, as they are often the one left to raise the children and help put them through college if the father is deceased or disabled. Congresswoman Moore's bill would restore the student benefit for children of deceased and disabled workers up to age 26 as long as they are enrolled in college or vocational schools. The benefit would only be reinstated for children of deceased and disabled workers. And then it also goes on to say how Congresswoman Moore would like to pay for these increases. So these are all pretty good things. Now let me know in the comment section below what you think of this bill. Do you think it should pass? Would it be helpful for you if it did pass? And in which ways? Let me know down in the comment section below. And finally, with the House returning to Washington today after a nearly month-long absence, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will have quite a bit to iron out. This mainly being the budget resolution and the bipartisan infrastructure bill, with the 9 moderates in the House demanding a vote on the $1 trillion bipartisan plan based around infrastructure before voting on the budget resolution. Pelosi has basically been calling their bluff. In Pelosi's mind, the 9 members will eventually fold and they'll do things in the order that she wants, which is to first pass the budget resolution and then make sure the 2 bills basically pass at the same exact time. Of course, on Sunday, the 9 members of the moderate crew said that under no circumstances can they see themselves backing down from Pelosi. If this is the case, and being that Pelosi only has 3 votes to lose, this definitely puts her in a sticky situation. According to some sources, it is expected that President Biden will be reaching out to the 9 moderates today and trying to reach some type of resolution. Basically, it seems that right now, if they were to hold a vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill as soon as this week, it shouldn't have too many issues passing, and they could even get some Republicans on board with it as well. However, if they decide to push the infrastructure bill off until they pass the budget resolution, we may see that both bills are held up for a long period of time. With that said, do you believe that they should first vote on the infrastructure bill, or do you believe that we should do things Nancy Pelosi's way and make sure the budget resolution gets through at the same time? Or perhaps are you completely against both bills and believe that at this point in time we shouldn't be spending an additional $4 to $5 trillion? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in today's video and you would like to see more videos like it, I would greatly appreciate it if you take just a few more seconds out of your day to like this video, share it, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.